Welcome to the We Don't Have Cookies anniversary episode with your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show and welcome to the podcast's 4-year anniversary episode. Can't believe it's been 4 years since I started the show. I also can't believe how far it's come since the first episode. There have definitely been some ups and downs, but that's how life goes. And I am so thankful to have talked to the people that I've had on the show in the last few years and to have made some great friends because of it too. One of my favorite people that I became friends with through the show was Elena Davies. I was really hoping to have her on today's episode to kick things off by getting her reaction to hearing the Cummy D songs that we talked about the last time she was on the show, but she wasn't able to make it. She's had a lot of stress this past week. Last Tuesday on X on the Beach, she was talking to Mark alone and was confronted by the woman that Mark slept with. The show was filmed a while ago, but since it just aired, of course, a lot of people have a lot to say about it on her social media, and Elena isn't one to just back down from anybody or not clap back when somebody's talking about her online. One of the people who had something to say was the woman who confronted Elena on the show's mother. They had an exchange on Twitter, which you can check her out and read the exchange. I think the lady actually deactivated her account, but you can see what Elena said back. And that ended up resulting in the woman's son DMing Elena and threatening to beat her up, which is obviously extreme, but it's more scary for her because they all live in the same city. So between having that horrible moment on the show, opening up old wounds, and having psychos threatening her online, she's got a lot going on. But I do want to give everybody an update on what we were talking about the last time she was on the show. I have had a few email exchanges with Cummy D, and he is really excited about being on the podcast to talk to Elena. So hopefully that will be happening next month. I just have to hear back from Elena and set it up. And that's going to be a wild episode. I can promise you that. In the meantime, I'm going to play a song by Cummy D. It's pretty explicit, but it's really funny. After the song, I'll be talking to a friend of mine over the phone who was out on a walk at the time, so the audio isn't the best at times, but I love talking to the guy. I've been trying to get him back on the show since my birthday episode almost 2 months ago, and I wanted to make sure I had him on today. Later on in the episode, I'll be talking to John the Songman and the podcast's official weatherman, Frankie MacDonald.
Yeah, she kissed my dick jizz and she's the pretty girl that gets me horny. Her big titties got my cock jizzing out too. BBAD. A big brother at the door made me hard to be me. My penis drives Elena stars and her messy memories. I love her big boobies. Yeah.
Comedy.
I love Elena's big boobies. Yeah. Come on. My dick rises when I see her thighs and her huge titties. Elena's finest one, she makes my semen slime. That's why they call me Cummy D. Elena Davies. She keeps my dick jizz and she's the pretty girl that gets me horny. Her big titties got my cock jizzing out good. Elena Davies. Yeah, she keeps my dick jizz and she's the pretty girl that gets me horny. Her big titties got my cock jizzing out good. BBAD. Big brother at the door made me hard to be me. My penis drives Elena stars and her messy memories. I love her big boobies. Yeah. I love Elena's big boobies. Oh yeah. And Cummy D loves Elena's big boobies.
This is Dan the Beast Severn, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC's no holds barred history. You're listening to Jason Marshall's We Don't Have Cookies. Cookies! I want some cookies! You better listen, otherwise I know where you live.
This guy has been on the show quite a bit the past year. He has his own podcast called the Pocket Party Podcast, which is one of my favorites, and it's kind of fun to say. Say it 3 times real quick. Just pause this podcast. Go ahead and do that. Then unpause it. It's my friend and extremely funny comedian, Darren Carter. How you doing, Darren?
Good, buddy. Good. Darren Carter, the party starter. Pocket Party Podcast. It is kind of hard to say. I didn't realize that. And then, yeah.
I've been wanting to have you on for a while now. Things just haven't worked out. But being on the 4th year anniversary episode is a great way to make your return.
Dude, that's awesome. 4 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, man. It's been a long time.
Isn't it like super fun? And now do you go through phases where you were like really gung-ho and then there's moments where you're not gung-ho and then it comes back again? Have you pretty much stayed even keeled the whole 4 years?
No, there's a lot of ebbs and flows to it. And as most people, a lot of regular listeners know, this year has been one of the lows, and we're going back to a high now. So I've been doing a lot of stuff in the yard and things like that. We're finally starting to get back on track. You know, that's just how it goes when you're doing an independent podcast. Yeah,
you mean independent as opposed to like when you're like with these really popular networks and they're all pumping each other up and they're like, "Yo, we got Joe Rogan," and Joe Rogan will put on someone else, and then so even for them a bad week, they still get like 1 million people telling them how great they are. Like that. You know. I have a dear friend that listens to my podcast a lot, and he goes, but you know, you get wrapped up in life. And he goes, I'm going to be honest. He goes, sometimes I have to do a lot of work stuff, a lot of family stuff. I don't have a lot of time to listen to podcasts. He goes, I listen to about 3 of them in rotation. And he goes, I don't listen to yours every week, but he goes, when I do have time, he goes, I love listening to you. He told me he listens to mine and like, I think like Joe Rogan and like one more person. I'm like, dude, I get it. I go, that's okay. I said, I just want to be in people's, you know, rotation. You just want to be in the top 10 or 20 of the podcast they may go to when they're on a road trip or whatever, or however they listen, you know?
And it's a lot easier to stay consistent when you're making about $100,000 an episode like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to miss.
Even if you're not at that level, even if you're making like, let's say 5,000 an episode, you're like, yeah, dude, let's go record. You know?
The last time you were on the show, you said that you just got booked to perform at Snoop Dogg's family reunion again. Has that went down yet?
They actually said they hired the guy from, oh God, it was another guy. It was a singer though. It was Bootsy Collins. I want to say they hired Bootsy Collins.
Okay.
To perform. Who is, Bootsy Collins. Do you know who that guy is?
Yeah.
I forget So they could have went with Darren Carter or Bootsy Collins. Yeah, baby, Bootsy Collins.
I was going to say, if you were still going to do that, that would be the best place to do a podcast from.
That would have been awesome. As we're talking, I'm walking from Whole Foods, and my wife and son are out of town. I just got back, so for dinner, I'm having a smoothie.
Nice. What kind of smoothie are you having?
I went with, I think what it's called, the Nutty Buddy or something like that, where it's like spinach, peanut butter, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm sure it's green, so that's good. But then that peanut butter is really where you want to get it. You want to get it for the peanut butter. But then you throw in a couple of veggies. You're like, oh, yeah, it's healthy. It's like a salad. You know, it's like, but here's the thing that's really irking me, man. And especially all over California, all these places, they're really into getting paper straws and getting rid of the traditional plastic straws. They haven't perfected these paper straws yet, so they pretty much get soggy within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've heard that's a big problem with those.
Do you guys have plastic straws still?
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God. I know, man. It's like, and I'm not even a political guy, and I don't even know if that's a political issue, but I do know that I will say this. I feel like they're putting their efforts into dumb shit. It's like, why can't they just focus on, like, when you see all these homeless people, like in neighborhoods you didn't used to see them, you just see like how things are getting crazier and crazier. You'll see whole tents, man, as you're driving, like places you didn't used to see. You'll see like 20 tents and like garbage on the street. You're like, this isn't, I don't know what's happening. And then they're like, no, we're gonna focus on paper straws. It's like, why don't we focus on people? I don't know. It's like
100% agree with that, man. It's straws.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's because I just had a birthday and I'm getting crankier. I'm like, get off my lawn. Let me have my plastic straw. You know, boy, when I was a kid, we had a thing called crazy straws. You know?
Do they still make those?
I don't know. Now it's crazy if you actually want a straw. It's like, oh, when you try to kill the sea turtles? It's like, I don't even know if they make them, man. I know it's at the airport, but because I flew into Oakland, and they got rid of the Starbucks, and they also got rid of straws at the local coffee shop there. They go and they do it like they're almost proud. They're like, we're the first coffee shop in whatever to do paper straws. And I'm just like, so then I walked across to the food court, and I hate to say this, but I grabbed about 10 illegal plastic straws from a Burger King or whatever, and I threw them in my backpack. And I'm like, yeah, gotta be prepared. Like a Boy Scout, like in case this happens again. That's what the older generation did, right? Remember that? Your grandparents would they'd take sugar packets and creamers and stuff like that, like from restaurants back in the 40s and 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, ketchup packets, syrup packets. Our generation's like, give me my real plastic straws, boy. Yeah. Woo-wee. Who wants an extra straw?
Well, about a month ago, there was a 7.1 earthquake in California. You were on stage performing when that happened. What was that like?
Well, to be honest with you, I was on stage about a half hour after it happened, but it still was very nerve-rattling. It was nerve-rattling the whole, I'd say some people are still nervous about it, but for sure the next 3 or 4 days, because what happened is there was an earthquake on July 4th, and that earthquake was, I want to say it was in the morning, and I remember it was one of those things where I'm standing very still during the earthquake, so I totally felt it. Sometimes you're moving around, you're driving, you don't really even feel it. But that one I was standing still because my son and I his name's Austin, he's 11. I go, you're getting tall. And I go, come here. And we stood in front of the mirror. And I go, look how much taller you're getting. And so we're both standing, staring at the mirror. And my wife, she's in the restroom blow drying her hair. She comes out, she goes, oh my God, from across the living room. She goes, do you guys feel the earthquake? And I'm like, no. And she goes, come over here, feel it. You'll feel it over here. Like the earthquake's just going to be in the kitchen and not in the bedroom. Later, she goes, oh no, because it was carpet. I thought maybe you'd feel it better on carpet or something, or linoleum or whatever it was. So that one made you a little nervous, but what made me more nervous, I think, is because it happened the next day and it was bigger. So you're like, whoa, so this is not an aftershock. This is actually the real one, maybe. But maybe there's a bigger one coming. I mean, it's really freaks you out, man. Because you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I've never experienced anything like that as far as earthquakes go. But there was one time when I was interviewing a guest who you had on your show once, Frank Cronin, and a tornado went by my house while I'm talking to him.
Whoa!
And I was really, really rattled by that. Yeah,
wow!
So I know how you feel. It's one of those things where you just in the moment you just don't know how to take it. You just know that you're afraid. Yes, and also with the the one that was the bigger earthquake. It was like I was in a packed comedy club, and I was against the wall, away from the door, like the furthest you could be from the exit. And I think there's something about a group of people. When you're by yourself, you'd be like, "Is it an earthquake?" And it's kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. When there's a group of people and they're like, "Did you feel that? You felt that, huh? Did you feel that?" And it's like that group panic type of thing, a little bit. I mean, we weren't panicked, but definitely my friend looked at me and he goes, "Did you feel that? You felt that, huh?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then I was like, "Oh, let me just kind of casually get up and get the hell out of here." And also, I was literally like 200 feet from the water, the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. And so you're thinking, is this going to be like a tsunami? I don't know. You just don't know. And then you start to see a few people outside looking at their phones, talking like, what was that? And then information's coming in. 7.1, Ridgecrest, that kind of thing. My friend told me he had a buddy that was in Vietnam. And when he came back, he was like a nutty kind of guy, like real adventure type. He chained himself to a tree during a tornado so you could see what it feels like. Whoa. But of course, and I guess he was okay. But it's like, that's really dumb because you've seen like straw, or hay that will just get embedded into like someone's throwing like darts and stuff. I mean, it could be super dangerous. Well, speaking of disasters, John the Songman has made songs for you every time you've been on the podcast. What do you think of those? Hey, I give him A for effort. Well, except for the first one where he got your name wrong. Yeah, I was like, it's not even in the same ballpark, dude. My favorite was he made a song to make up for that, and the song wasn't about you. He just said your name in the song. But the last one, he did a good job. It was actually about you. So.
That's awesome. Do you live in the country? It sounds like you kind of like sort of live away from the big cities.
Yeah, I live about 20 minutes away from the city. I'm in Ohio, right outside of Dayton.
Wow, that's cool, man. See, it's funny. The pet peeves of city life is different than the country life. Like right now, as I'm walking, I'm seeing this green scooter that people can. They're all over. They're called Lime or Bird, and people have an app. When you turn the thing on, but the problem with it is, which I didn't really see why people were so irritated by it, is as you start seeing them all over the place, like blocking sidewalks, blocking drive, because some people are respectful and like, oh, I'm done renting this thing, I'll lean it up against a stop sign or somewhere but other people they just drop it and throw it anywhere. And that's what really, it seems like one of those things that's super irritating to people.
I'll just put it right behind this car's tire so nobody can.
Exactly.
That way it doesn't blow away.
Like I see one right now. It's on the sidewalk, but it's to the side of the sidewalk. Like maybe so people could still get by. So that one didn't really irritate me that much. But the other day I saw one that was literally blocking the sidewalk. And then you're like, man, what if it's like somebody in a wheelchair or somebody had to like try? I don't know.
No, I understand.
It's one of those things where you're like, oh, like what's something that'd be a pet peeve out in where you live? Let me guess. Is it like farmers who go too slow and don't let cars pass by?
That is annoying.
Yeah, I think the law out here, the law is like you have to like, if it's more than 5 cars behind you, you're supposed to like pull over and let them by.
That's a good law to have. All right, Darren, well, where can people find you online and where can they hear your podcast?
Oh man, the podcast is everywhere. Just look up Darren Carter Podcast or Pocket Party. You'll find it, and it's on, it's everywhere. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and I'm also on Instagram. Look me up, official Darren Carter, Darren. And I think that's about it. DarrenCarter.com. I'm getting ready to film my second special. I'll know more about that. All I've been told is we're going to film it in Austin, Texas, and it's going to be in the winter.
Wow, sounds cool, man.
So, which is good for me because at first they said maybe September, and I'm like, wow, okay, because I want to definitely I've been trying to lose like 10 pounds before I film it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like that where you're just sort of like, eating pizzas and anything you want. And they're like, quick, you're on camera tomorrow. You're like, dang. So I've been trying to like, halfway get ready. Then I'll sometimes slip up and be like, you know what? I love In-N-Out burgers. So, I'm like, the winter ain't for a while away. I just can't get too comfortable.
Well, Darren, I want to thank you for being on the show, man. It's great catching up with you.
Hey, and if anyone's listening, I do love sea turtles. And this is where the first half of the podcast is we rant, and this is how I really feel. And at the end, so there may be some repercussions. Folks, I love paper straws. Yeah.
Well, before you go, I just want to let you know, John the Songman has made another song for you. I'm going to play that right now, and when I come back, I'll be joined by the one and only John the Songman, so enjoy it.
Oh, boy.
Hi, you reach you-know-who. Leave a message after the you-know-what. And please don't make my Darren message suck, or I'll come there and beat you up. And I don't even care if you're a member of Tough Enough, because I don't even care if you own pet stuff, like a duck.
We all just heard his latest song for Darren Carter. He's one of your favorite parts of the We Don't Have Cookies family. It's John the Songman. How you doing?
Whatever is good for everything for the show is better to have with Jason, because it's great to have him, as always, back on the air. Just so everyone's aware, he's the best one ever to be on the air.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the 4-year anniversary episode. I think it was a year ago today that you became official member of the We Don't Have Cookies family.
Oh, I damn you for sure. It's been 2, but it's always been like 17, 18 going by so fast, because it's always great to have Jason get ready for the show, just so everyone will know it's been a hell of a show.
The last time we talked was around my birthday. What have you been up to?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's been a little crazy and everything, going by so fast just to get the summer ready. Just been good as always, but I know there's been 2 or 3 times you're too busy and everything. As always, it's always great to keep track with you every time, just to get the show better and better with the rap.
Well, I'm sure listeners would like to know more about you. What kind of stuff do you do for fun?
Always just hanging around, retired right now, just to keep up everyone for a little fun time in the house and getting ready for family and everything. But it's always great to keep up, as always, to get better for everyone to get fans, just like you, just to get better with the show, because it's always a nice time before we get ready to sing ho, ho, ho.
Well, when did you first start making up songs? Is it something that you've always done since you were a little kid, or is it something that happened later in life?
It just came out of nowhere, I'm expecting. I want to say it's been close to 8, I believe, years. It may have been 12, I don't know. I lost track even when I started. But what do you know? It's been going, like I say, sometimes it's been sucking so much because I've done all the best when I started. But hey, it's always so to keep up, as always, just to think about what's going to be next, especially for Jason.
Well, can we get one more song from you before you go?
Oh, yeah, like who do you want it to be for this time?
Let's see. We'll do one for, actually, I'll ask you to make one once we get done with this interview, because I just thought of somebody that would be perfect to have one made for. So we'll save that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you go?
Oh, no, nothing so far. It's always good to keep up. So I think I got all the stuff prepared, but I may lose it for a moment, but I know it's going to pop in my head out of nowhere. So I'll try to get through this one for a good song.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. It's great to talk to you as always.
Not a problem. Always great to keep up. Just so make sure Jason doesn't have any show that suck without a rap.
We don't ask cookies. Stay prepared.
Well, Frankie, what's the weather going to be like starting on Tuesday, July 30th?
It's going to be a heat wave all across the entire eastern United States and Canada. Then it got the cool air hitting down at the end of the week. That's going to bring more cooler air in my area next week. And then August, that'll be solar summer into August of 2019. It'll be into solar summer.
Sounds great. And Frankie, where are you calling from? It sounds like you're outside.
That means I'm going for a walk.
Awesome. You seem to like to go for a lot of walks. Is that something you do every day?
Yeah.
That's good. It's good exercise. This is the podcast's 4th anniversary episode. I'm really happy to have you here. You've been the podcast's official weatherman for almost a year now. You're one of the listeners' favorite parts of the show. I have a few questions for you if you have time.
Yeah.
All right. Here's some of the listeners' questions. How did you start doing weather videos? What made you decide to start recording them and putting them on YouTube?
I did it myself. And when I was a little boy, I watched the weather on regular television when I was a kid, the Weather Network and the Weather Channel, and weather forecasts and things like that when I was only a little kid back then.
What has been your favorite video so far?
Guys, I see 50 hot dogs at once. 1,000,000 well over 1 million views.
Wow. That is a lot. Who has been some of the famous people that you've met so far?
I got Patrick Wallace autographs. That's one. Another famous people I met is Amber Marshall 4 years ago, the Heartland TV show on BBC Canada.
I have a couple of food-related questions for you. What kind of pizza do you like?
Pepperoni and cheese pizza. Back in 2016, I met the man tracker at the Horse Expo. That's another famous person I met.
Another food-related question. Where is your favorite place to get pizza from, or do you like frozen pizza?
I like Pizza Zone.
And when you order Chinese food, do you get white rice or fried rice?
Fried rice.
All
Chicken
right.
balls, egg roll, and sugai with Oak Brady.
Do you mind doing some comedy for us before you go?
Yeah. I don't mind.
Awesome. What kind of comedy would you like to do?
I try to eat 50 hot dogs at once.
Okay, sounds great.
I would take 50 hot dogs at once. Eat them all right now. Eat those hot dogs right now. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. 8 more hot dogs. Go, go, go. Michelle Dale, say, get up. Go. Don't go falling down. Go, 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 go.
Did you get all 50?
Yeah, then I did a video. Guys just pretending to eat hot dogs.
That is great. And real quick, I love the videos where you say certain words. Can you say "we don't have cookies"?
We don't have cookies.
All right, Frankie, that is great. Where can people follow you on social media and buy your merchandise?
Talking Frankie MacDonald bobbleheads on National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. For Frankie MacDonald Action Figures, it's FrankieActionFigure.com. You can order copies in my book on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble bookstores online.
All right, Frankie, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'll have you on next week.
Best luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You're listening. We don't have cookies.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man. You're listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
Want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail.
I would love to hear from you, so please send me an email, or if you want, leave a voicemail. I'll play it on the show. I always like getting emails and messages from listeners, and I reply to everybody, so don't be shy. Who knows, maybe we'll end up being friends, or you might even be on the show like John the Songman. And it's too bad John the Songman wasn't walking when he called in. It would have been the first time that everybody on the show was walking while I was recording with him. As I record this right now, I'm walking in place just to fit in. And I think right now is a perfect time to give you this week's Strange Days. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Tuesday, July 30th is National Cheesecake Day. I love cheesecake, so help me celebrate National Cheesecake Day and the podcast 4th anniversary by going to wedon'thavecookies.com and clicking on that donate button so I can get me some cheesecake. Wednesday is Uncommon Musical Instrument Day. Quick question for you guys. I said send me an email a minute ago. If you're trying to think of a topic or a reason to send me an email, send me one about the most uncommon musical instrument that you ever played. I'd like to hear about that. Thursday is Girlfriend's Day because Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day just isn't enough. Friday is Ice Cream Sandwich Day. My favorite ice cream sandwich is ham, Swiss cheese, and vanilla ice cream on rye bread. Saturday is Watermelon Day. I will definitely be celebrating that. And finally, Sunday is Sister's Day and Single Working Woman's Day. So if your sister's a single working woman, take her out for a nice dinner. One of the things I like to do on this show is to take a clip and put it at the end of the episode. It's usually pretty quick and something that sounds crazy taken out of context. It might be my favorite thing that I do on this podcast. Here is a montage of those clips from the past year.
That happened.
This week has been stupid.
I'm surrounded by asses.
I would love to offend someone today.
All plastic comes from the devil's butthole.
I had sex with everyone in Australia.
Speaking of moving on, that's what we're going to do right now.
I just want to let everybody know that if you plant more trees and shrubs near your home, you will save up to about 25% on your energy bills.
So I Googled the Bee Gees, and I was so surprised that they've always been white.
So when people would come into my office, I'm like, yes, I'm supposed to be watching this video right now. It's for research.
Radio broadcasting.
I'm such a freak. I have no idea who that woman was.
Can we curse on this show?
ELOHEL.
There was so many people pissed off at me. It was ridiculous.
Kind of was guessing what they put on that salad.
What are you going to spend that 35 cents on?
Eat those hot dogs right now.
Over yonder is all honky-jawed and you little whippersnapper.
Oh, man, someone's going to get a beaten hit. Anthony Scaramucci.
You know what, Elena? You're awesome.
Have you considered your neighbor may actually be Japanese?
You have to expect the unexpected.
What, are they going to impale you with a balloon?
I don't know if you're done or even started.
I have to say, I'm not impressed with how you did.
Someone off the grid should be way more chill. Today is Cookies Day, Mayo. A bird pooped on my hand.
Okay.
I just said I wasn't going to say that.
Go stick a white blackberry in your mouth and suck on that for a little bit.
How do you think that would go?
Not great.
I think that's a great way to end this episode. I want to thank my guests one more time for being on the show, and I want to thank all of you for listening. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you next time.
We don't have to get